I am Moshe Feiglin, Manhigut Yehudit, from the Jewish Leadership Movement, and you're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight.
But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're gonna watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug. Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom and welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. I am here once again, part 2 with Moshe Feiglin. Welcome back to the show. He is the leader of Manhigut Yehudit, the president of Manhigut Yehudit, and a member of the Likud party. And he one day is hopefully going to be the prime minister of Israel, because his philosophy of a Torah Jewish Israel is one which is unique and has a lot of fresh faces joining him in his philosophy and his movement. Tell me, right now, how many people do you think in the state of Israel are aware of Manhigut Yehudit and actually supporting them in some way or another? Maybe not necessarily a member, but actually supporting the philosophy. Is there a number?
Well, the awareness is tremendous. You pick 10 guys in the street in Israel, give them a few names of Knesset members, ministers, and put my name there as well. You'll see.
They know you.
They more than the average Knesset member or even the average minister in the government. Mm-hmm. Yes. So Baruch Hashem, we become a household name in Israel. That was achieved already. How many is supportive? It depends when. During the campaign, during the last year when there was a primaries to the Knesset, the support was tremendous. When my name appeared in the top list of the Likud got almost 40 mandates in the polls. Later on, when Benjamin Netanyahu managed to pull some tricks and to push me to a non-realistic spot, the Likud fell and actually lost the election to the Kadima party with only 27 mandates.
Kadima party, just for the people who don't know, Kadima party, is that when Ariel Sharon broke off from Likud and started, right?
Led today by Tzipi Livni, and she actually won with 28 mandates. Benjamin Netanyahu is the first prime minister in Israel that lost the election, actually. But he's a prime minister because the bloc of the right wing backed him, and he formed the government with Lieberman and Shas and others. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, so the potential support is tremendous. Potential, because most of the Israelis are happy to this Jewish message.
Now, many of our regular viewers know who you are now because you've been on our show, and you're here in Chicago for a period of time. You're going to be speaking at the Taboun in Skokie to a number of supporters and community members who want to know more about you. And we're going to go to Taboun in Skokie to hear some of what you have to share with the community. So stay with us here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. We're going to Skokie with Moshe Feiglin.
And now, anybody else? I feel like the Academy Awards. The envelope, please. The winner of Best Actor. No, without further ado, the next Prime Minister of Israel, Moshe Feiglin.
Okay, thank you, Shmuel. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight and for supporting Manhigut Yehudit. I want to special thanks for Jonah and Joe Brook, who you all know that without them, this evening could not happen. And thank all the other good people, good staff of Manhigut Yehudit and other good members of the community who helped to make this event happening. Tomorrow we're going back to New York Shmuel and David and I, and day afterwards we're going back home, and for Pesach, Bezrat Hashem, we'll be in Eretz Israel, and therefore we're leaving you here by yourself for Pesach. You have a lot of reasons to be sorry about it. Where the place for you to be is in Eretz Israel. Baruch Hashem, we're going to be there, and being that we're not going to be here, I'm going to start for something for Pesach. About 30 years ago, I was a commander in the IDF at the time. It was during the time of the first Lebanon War, very short while after Menachem Begin and Ariel Sharon destroy Gush Katif and Yamit and withdraw from Sinai. Israel went to a war against the PLO in Lebanon, and I was there, and the PLO was defeated completely. They were pushed away to Beirut. They ran away from Beirut to Tunisia at the time. No arms, no nothing. They were in total despair. Many of them were captured. All their leaders, besides Arafat and Shmuel, or most of the leaders were captured and were taken to the Ansar prison in Lebanon. There was a special prison in Lebanon named Ansar, and between these prisoners were one very major leader. His name was Salah Ta'amri. That was his name. And he felt, later on, what I'm telling you now, he himself gave an interview to a Ma'ariv reporter, Nahum Barnea. Those of you who know the name know that this Nahum Barnea is not a right-winger. But, nevertheless, this Salah Ta'amri gave an interview to Nahum Barnea. And he told him an amazing story about Pesach. He said, while I was there in the Ansar camp, in the Ansar prison in Lebanon, I felt I was in a deep despair. I felt that there was nothing left from the Palestinian dream for independent state. There was nothing to do anymore. We'll just take the crumbs that the Israelis will throw to us, and that's it. There goes the dream. And I was ready to give up. And we're talking about a leader that was, and still, a hero in the streets of Ramallah and Shechem. I was ready to surrender. I was ready to give up. There was nothing to do anymore. Suddenly, I saw something that captured my sight, captured my eyes. I saw an Israeli soldier on duty, eating pita with hummus, just like what we have here on the tables. And I knew it is Pesach time. That's the story that Salah Ta'amri himself tells Nahum Barnea. And I was surprised. How come an Israeli soldier is eating chametz on Pesach? I know that it's against your religion, against your Judaism, against everything you believe in. So when the guard passed next to me with a pita in his hand, I asked him, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And he said yes. And I asked him, today's Pesach, you're celebrating Pesach today. And the Israeli soldier told him, yes. Then why are you eating chametz? Why are you eating pita? Are you allowed to eat chametz on Pesach? And the Israeli soldier answered him the following: I don't see myself. I don't see that I have to do and act today upon something that happened to my people 2,000 years ago. That was the answer of the Israeli soldier to Salah Ta'amri. Actually, it happened 3,300 years ago, not 2,000 years. He just missed 1,200 years, the Israeli soldier. However, that was his answer. And Salah Ta'amri keep on giving this interview to Nahum Barnea, told him, that evening I understood that this terrible enemy that defeated us is weak, is worthless. They have no roots. I could not sleep the whole night, he says. And in the morning, I got together all the prisoners in the Ansar camp, and I told them, we are not giving up. We are not ready to make any concessions for crumbs and whatever the Israelis will give us. We're going to fight for everything. For Tel Aviv, and for Holon, for Haifa, for Akko, and of course for Ramallah, and Hebron, and Jerusalem, and everything. Because they have no roots, and that kind of enemy, we're going to win. Later on, this Salah Ta'amri was released and become a major terrorist, a major pillar in the actually kind of redemption of the PLO and the other Palestinian terror groups. Probably thousands of lives of Jewish people were taken away because of this pita that this Israeli soldier ate on Pesach in front of our enemies. Now that's a story that happened 30 years ago when I was a soldier, officer in the Israeli army during the early 80s. I want to tell you another little story that happened just a month ago. 1 month ago, at the beginning of February, our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, went to visit Putin in Russia. And there's a nice restaurant in Russia. I think the name is Pushkin. Very, very famous restaurant in Russia. The Prime Minister of Greek ate there. Putin himself eats there. It's an elite restaurant. You cannot think of more treif food than what they serve in that restaurant. Together with all these leaders, ate the Prime Minister of Israel. Well, the story for Pesach is not so happy anymore, I guess. We can all just think, if that damage that I spoke before was done about one soldier on duty, what kind of a damage the leader of Israel, eating treif in front of the entire world, in a treif restaurant in Russia, is doing to us. Now, if you think I'm blaming Netanyahu, and I'm having a problem with Netanyahu, you have it all wrong. I am not blaming Netanyahu. I have nothing against Bibi. And I did not come here tonight to speak against Netanyahu. He is not the problem. We are the problem. We never offered the Jewish people, the Israelis, a different kind of leadership. Somebody here, more than one, told me, I had such great expectations from Ariel Sharon, great expectation from Netanyahu. Every time we have a leader from the right wing, we get slammed on the face. Well, it's not their problem, it's our problem, because we're fooling ourselves. They're simply carrying a different message, a different goal, different values, coming from a different place, going to a different place than you want to go, carrying a different dream that you are dreaming. If you're standing in a bus station in Tel Aviv and you want to go to Metula, and a wonderful bus is stopping, and inside there's a great driver wearing a beautiful suit, beautiful tie, and he tells you, hey, come with me. Looks great. You're getting on a bus. Instead of taking you to Metula, he takes you to Eilat. What do? What do? You get off the bus. You're looking for a different driver in a different bus. Well, Netanyahu and the rest of the leaders that we had until today simply did not carry your dream, did not want to go to your direction. What is their dream in the last 62 years? What is the dream of the Israeli leaders? The dream is state of all its citizens. The head of the Supreme Court, Aharon Barak, the most influential person in Israel in the last decade, just retired, and the first thing he said when he went out of office is, I don't see Israel as a Jewish state. I see Israel as a state of all its citizens. I find it hard to say, but the year 2010 reminds me too much of what I learned about the years of 1930s. And we have to understand which period of time we are at now. And as I said before, the bus is great. The Israeli economy is better than ever. The shekel is stronger than the dollar. The army is well equipped. Everything is great, but the bus is going on the wrong direction. We have leadership that don't want a Jewish state because we're not representing a Jewish state, just a place among the nation. We're losing our justification to exist. We cannot explain what gives us the right to come and take over the land of the poor Palestinians. We become the bad guys, and we're losing our justice, and Israel is fading away. This is the situation now. The good news, again, as I started with my first story, the good news is that we're coming with a solution. Everything I described right now, and I could continue more and more, show you how dangerous the situation is, how dangerous it is when you're running away from your identity, how dangerous it is to have a leadership that's afraid of our own identity. We come with a solution. People tell me all the time, the Israeli PR is terrible. And my answer is very simple. When was the last time you heard an Israeli official? When was the last time you heard a prime minister, ambassador, official Israeli that's saying the most simple sentence? The land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. Can any one of you remember once hearing in the last decade, let's say, an Israeli official saying that? Raise your hand. You can spend billions on PR if you cannot say the most basic sentence, that most basic sentence, all your PR is worthless. You cannot say that the land belongs to you, because if you do, you have to lean on Jewish roots, and you're running away from the Jewish roots. So you're talking about two-state solution, and you're talking about how terrible it was what they did to us in the Holocaust, and therefore they need to leave us alone, and we squeeze the lemon of the Holocaust till the end. But when we'll have Jewish leadership, it'll be easy, and the world will accept it, and we'll have back a proud Jewish state that know exactly where it comes from, understand what we're doing in Eretz Israel, and Be'ezrat Hashem, and then it kayem banu, the pasuk that says, "Ve'ra'u kol amei ha'aretz, ki shem Hashem nikra alecha ve'yar'u mimeka." The pasuk says, when the entire nations of the world will see that the name of God is above your head, they'll be afraid of you. That's the secret. That's the whole secret. A leadership that leads the people of Israel, the state of Israel, in the name of God. Together, we're going to achieve that.
Thank you. Welcome back. Do you feel that when you go out and you speak to people, do you feel that you really reach them? Do you feel what you're saying reaches the average person that you didn't speak to before and they haven't had a chance to get to know you?
In most of the cases, yes. Usually that's what happens. The message is true. It is the truth. I simply saying what I believe is the truth. What people know it's the truth. And when you're bringing that message, people happy to hear that. Definitely when you're talking to good Jews, like those who came to this event, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. The potential is tremendous, and I believe that it's only a matter of time until we'll lead Israel and the Jewish people towards a complete new direction, and restore and establish a proud Jewish state.
Wonderful. We're here on Taped with Rabbi Doug with Moshe Feiglin from Manhigut Yehudit, and stay with us. We'll be right back.
נולדתי בתל אביב, תל אביב הישנה. לקראת הצבא אני הייתי עם כל הסיפורים על פעולות התגמול, יחידה 101, אריק שרון. אמרתי, אני הולך לצנחנים. הגיעה מלחמת יום כיפור ב-73. בסוף המלחמה, לאחר חצי שנה של מילואים, החלטתי שאני קצת מצטרף לפעילות פוליטית מתוך ההרגשה וידיעה שעד שאתה לא משנה מלמעלה שום דבר לא עוזר. הצטרפתי לסניף הליכוד בחולון.
בגיל 3 עליתי לארץ מתימן, לפני קום המדינה. נשים בתימן לא ידעו לקרוא, רק הגברים. ואמא שומעת את אבא מתפלל, עם הכמיהה לחזור לארץ ישראל, עם ייבנה בית המקדש. ויום אחד אמא אומרת לו, מה זה כל התפילות האלה? יש ארץ ישראל, התורה היא תורת אמת, בוא ונעלה לציון.
I was 16, 17, 18-year-old by the Six-Day War. And the entire Jewish people said, Nisan, it's miracles. Hashem is Chazdei Hashem, look what's happening. And then when with the Yom Kippur War, and everything went downhill after that, till today. There's a feeling of frustration, there's a feeling of we're throwing back Rachmana litzlan into Hashem's face, the matana He gave us, and you want to do something to help arrest the downhill slide, but really do even more and make Kiddush Hashem and put things back the way they were supposed to be.
כשמצאתי את מנהיגות יהודית בחיפוש אחר האמת, החיפוש אחר האמת לא הסתיים. למנהיגות יהודית הגעתי לא מאמין. חילוני לא מאמין. היום אני יהודי מאמין חזק מאוד. פתח לי הרבה אפיקים בראש. מה הבן אדם עושה בעולם? מה הכיוון שלו? יש אלוהים, אין אלוהים? לאן העם הזה הולך? אלה דברים שאם לא הייתי פוגש את מנהיגות יהודית, כנראה שלא היו מתעוררים בי.
You're supporting a movement that is taking the ruling party of Israel, has the biggest spectrum of society in Eretz Israel today, and you're saying, let's have them express and stand for Emunah b'Hashem, belief in Hashem.
I'm Jack Berger, and you're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show, for talking with us and giving us a little bit of insight in a very short time into your philosophy and into Manhigut Yehudit and their role in the future of the government. Tell me, within your party of Manhigut Yehudit, are there any names that were our former political names that would be known from Israel who are members, or are all these people really a new grassroots group?
Most of the people in Manhigut are grassroots that joined us, and during the years become more and more involved. And in that movie we showed in Skokie and other dinners we gave, you see that really Manhigut Yehudit is not about just religious people. We have religious, non-religious, even extreme leftists that join Manhigut Yehudit. It's amazing when you're talking about leadership on a national scale, not a sectorial leadership, but a national leadership. You're basically telling the people, you all have room on my wagon. I have a solution to all of you. I'm taking care of all of you, not just people who looks like me. When you do that, and you're doing it with the values that everybody shares, this Jewish identity, then everything is open.
We call this in Hebrew the Achdut of Klal Yisrael. That everyone is included, no matter who they are, because they're all part of Klal Yisrael.
That is unity. That is the secret of unity. The secret of Achdut, unity, is leadership. Leadership that comes from the values that combine us all together.
Wonderful. Well, once again, thank you for being on the show. I want to thank Moshe Feiglin from Manhigut Yehudit of the Likud Party. I wish him much success in his future endeavors, and I hope, as I mentioned last time he was with us, that one day we'll have you on as the Prime Minister of Israel. And I want to thank all of you for being with us. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can also watch our show on the web. If you want to contact Manhigut Yehudit or send a message to Moshe Feiglin, I'll be happy to forward it to him. info@tvrabbi.com is the email address. Once again, I want to thank you. I want to thank your party and all of the people who helped arrange for me to be with you today. And I want to thank all of you for being with us. Hatzlacha in all your endeavors. And hope to see you next time right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone.
Yes, please.
So, probably the toughest part of being a prime minister is protecting the lives of the Israelis. In the case of Lebanon, we know it was the most dangerous war possibly we ever fought on the ground because we lost so many lives. If the buildup of arms supplied by the money from Iran takes place in southern Lebanon again, how do we not come to the same losses that we had last time when we went into Lebanon?
The truth is, I don't want to talk about wars so much. I was hoping, Rabbi, that you'll ask me about Jewish education. Shmuel, who sits right next to me, can tell you a great story. His son was serving in a special unit. One day, he comes home and he tells his father the following. He says, Abba, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that tonight we were sent to catch a terrorist. Bullets were flying. It was a tremendous danger. There was a battle over there. We managed to take over the terrorists. And that's the good news. No one got killed, Baruch Hashem. Thank God. And we captured the terrorists, the murderers. And what is the bad news? It's the same one we captured the week ago. We're not going to capture them anymore.
Go to see Rabbi Doug on the TV tonight.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.